The AL West is pretty much in bizarro world at the moment. The Astros are in last place for what seems like the first time in a decade. The Oakland A's are 3 games under 500, Mike Trout just tore his meniscus, and the Angels are falling apart. This has allowed the Mariners with a struggling offense to stay afloat at 20-16 and sit in second place. Right now it looks like the West is between Seattle and Texas. The Mariners currently have the season advantage over Texas with a 2-1 record, but obviously one series does not dictate the division, but it's always a good start. Especially when you think about how the Mariners blew the playoffs on literally the last day of the season last year. The Mariners will get some help from the Astros' atrocious start. The Angels are most likely a lost cause. The A's will A after a solid start from what is their standards. The division really is between just the Mariners and the Rangers as of right now. I previously covered the Mariners offense in an earlier video, so I'll just give a brief refresher. They signed Mitch Garver, Ryan Stanek, and Austin Voth. They made a lot of trades, and some of the notable guys they acquired were Mitch Haniger, Anthony Desclafini, Jorge Polanco, Gregory Santos, Luke Raley, and some others. The notable guys they traded away were Robbie Ray, Jose Caballero, Eugenio Suarez, Marco Gonzalez, and Jared Kelenic. I was just naming some of the notable trade pieces, but they made a lot more moves. So clearly, they had the idea of shuffling around the roster after missing out on the postseason. This team has had a reputation of being a pitching factory over the last few years. They have used only 5 starters so far this year, which is impressive in of itself, but 4 of them are homegrown, with Luis Castillo being the only one they got elsewhere. The other 4 are Logan Gilbert, Emerson Hancock, George Kirby, and Bryce Miller. These homegrown guys know how to pitch pretty well, as a matter of fact. Gilbert has a 1.69 ERA, Miller has a 2.61, Kirby has a 3.76, and Hancock has a 5.24. Hancock is getting some of his first reps at the major league level, and I think he should figure it out. The other guy, Luis Castillo, looks great with a 3.54 ERA as well. He should improve as we know what he's capable of. The Mariners' strong suit is pitching, and there's no question about how that has carried them so far. The staff, starters, and pen guys as a unit are 3rd in baseball with a team ERA of 3.04. Something that really puts how good the pitching staff has been in perspective is that 2 out of every pitcher they use this year has an ERA of 4 or above. 5 guys have a total of over 3. Everyone else is below 3 ERA, and that really encapsulates the dominance of the staff. After Paul Sewald left, it felt pretty obvious that Andres Munoz would get the closer role. And so far in 14 innings pitched, he has a 1.88 ERA and is 5 for 6 on save opportunities. As a whole, they are 8 for 11 on saves as a team, and they have plenty of guys who could take on the 9th if Munoz is not available. They also have a few pitchers who are pretty good that should be off the injured list this year. Those guys include Matt Brash, Gregory Santos, and Brian Wu. The nice thing about having so many solid pitchers is you always have room for trades and moves just to supplement the rest of your roster, which is nice because the Mariners' offense has been awful so far this year, and you might need to use some of those pitchers to supplement it. The offense currently ranks 25 out of 30 for runs scored with only 135. They also rank 25th for batting average, but hey, at least there's some improvement with the on-base percentage because they rank 22nd in that, so they're moving a little up. They at least do one thing alright, and that's hit the long ball, because the 39 they have this year ties them with the Rangers at 11th in baseball. You can't really have a championship team with offensive stats like this. Pitching can carry you on days where the offense doesn't fully have it, but they really can't carry you every single day. This team genuinely could have 5 to 10 more wins if they could hit as well as they can pitch. Every hitter with at least 70 or more at-bats has an on-base percentage below 330 besides Josh Rojas, who has a 421. These guys are not getting on base whether it is walking or hitting. One guy is hitting over 260 and it's Josh Rojas with a 345 average. Julio Rodriguez is supposed to be the superstar, but in 141 at-bats, he's hitting 255 with a 309 on base, with a singular homer, and he struck out 44 times. He only has 9 walks too, which is not very good for the plate appearances he has seen. And another thing about Julio is the more he gets on base, the more chaos he's going to create. That guy could steal bags, he's fast, he'll help the team get a lot more runs. It all stems if Julio picks it up. But I think he does, because we've seen him struggle early on before. Last year, he didn't have a great April. I believe he's hitting 270 with like 5 homers. And the thing is, a lot of people complained about that. So just imagine what they're saying now, because that's still good. Julio's going to be good. He's proven he belongs. I think he's the heart and soul of this team. He picks it up. Everyone else does too. Thing is, just not even talking about Rojas or Julio, no hitters are really producing on the offense. The big dumper himself, Cal Raleigh, is hitting 213 with 306 on base, but the thing is, he's at least hit 9 homers, and his production is relatively good from the catcher position. You signed Mitch Garver for offense, and he has a 275 on base percentage with 3 home runs. You traded for Polanco, and he's hitting 188, but I mean, at least he has 5 homers. This offense is just flat out terrible. It's not even worth covering every player's stats because you kind of get it with the overall rankings and what I've said. But here's the thing, how do you fix this? If you can, I have 3 ways. One is you could hope the whole team is in an offensive skid and just needs a little bit of time to heat up and break out. You don't know how likely that is or not, I guess you gotta wait. 2, you have 3 top 100 guys who are all on the offensive side, with Cole Young, Harry Ford, and Colt Emerson. You could call them up and hope they perform. I mean, they just called up Jonathan Clase, and he's been alright. Give him some major league at-bats, kind of just see what happens, why not? 3, you do what the Padres did, and you trade for a certified hitter to anchor the roster. And that's definitely a possibility, because just thinking about all the pitching they have, they could probably get a prospect or 2 out, then get a pitcher or 2 out. Like, they have the tools, they have the depth to be able to get a good trade done. So I think that should be what they should explore. The reality is, any of these options could potentially put some electricity in the offense that really needs it, but I do anticipate a trade over every single option. But I want you to go ahead and comment what you think is wrong with the Mariners offense and what the best route to fixing them would be, because I'm genuinely curious. The cold reality is the Mariners probably would be exposed if the division wasn't as bad as it was. And if the Astros didn't suck, it could be a lot different. The pitching is around the best of the best, but the offense is around the worst of the worst, so they need to figure out how to revamp this team, because you can't have the best pitching staff and the worst offense and just expect good results. I mean, what happens when someone gives up 5 runs? You're just done? Like, come on, you gotta fix that. If and when, a big if and when, they get the offense right to at least above average, this team turns into a juggernaut. I do think the Mariners offense improves because I really don't see them all sitting below the Mendoza line like half the hitters currently are, so I do see them picking it up. They got some big names who've proven that they're capable of producing in the major league level, but it's just a matter of kind of time, feeling things out, getting out of slumps, like, you know. But at least I will say this, the AL West will be a fun finish between the defending champs and then the Mariners. Who knows, maybe the Astros come out of nowhere and make a push, but you don't know. 11 games under is pretty bad for what we've seen from them. Thank you for watching, and make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed. I'll see you guys later.